Sideline of goal! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take it! He's gonna bring down Birdie. Almost with a double kill. Dropping fast. Monaco's there. He's still alive! Wait, second slide. He's got one side. He's got a second. He's taking it out. Oh my God! On three! They're all dead!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit to America. It's day number 4, and we got a nice, intense matchup for you. Well, I figured that the one time that I was like, you know what? I will start the videos a little early so that we can really enjoy the draft. The game ends up not going through. We have a disconnect, and someone needs to remake. So, well, I guess in the meantime, Mr. F4L, looking sharp as ever. Are you there with me? How you doing, my friend?
I am here. Now the Twitch chat needs to start spamming Fire Coddle Guy.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll give the chat the benefit because sometimes they happen to give us shit because we start, like, halfway through the drafts because of all the intros. And I'm like, I'll start them early. I just know that both of these teams will be fine. So
Well,
let's just go ahead and get it going.
And then an ops or something didn't work, right?
So now I got to wait for them to come back into the lobby again. I mean, we do get to see the draft, rather, from the beginning, which is nice. So I'll just start the game again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me.
What just happened?
I don't know. I hit go, and now I have to create the lobby all over again. This is
not
like,
in the
I'm
lobby
never doing
anymore.
this again, for the record. I am never doing this again.
Oh, man.
Figures,
What a
right?
disaster.
Just figures. So from now on, folks, you're just going to have to wait until you see like a couple of late picks come in because I usually like to wait till I know we're in the draft ready to go, and then I fire everything up. That's about like a 1 minute, 2 minute kind of a go, and then we get underway. But whatever. Well, we could talk about the match while the teams get back and settled in here. It's going to be Sneaky Nick's Assassins taking on Team Stay Free, and both of these teams were supposed to be one of the more promising talents in this region, but they are currently both 0-3. Oof. Or they could be 0-3. One of them will be 0-3. They're both currently 0-2. Oh.
Apparently the password wasn't working or something. Alright. I'm
All
in.
in. You're good. Let me make sure everything's set. We look sharp. Correct starting team. Did they flip sides? Or is this... No, this is correct. We're all good. Let me make sure both teams are Gucci. We good? One's good. Come on. Stay free. We Gucci. Come on. This is what happens.
I guess they didn't say go, huh?
All right. Here we go.
Excellent.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we can talk about...
they need a logo. Oh, need a logo.
I was gonna say we could talk about Radiant and Dire and how different teams are picking Radiant and Dire, and no one's really come to a consensus about which side is better.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, we don't have a stats man to just tell us that in 6.82 what side has actually performed better. It's
That would
really
be
hard to
kinda
tell
nice.
with the new Roche location and everything, which
Mm-hmm.
side really has the upper hand. Well, I mean, what about you personally as far as like off-laners go? Do you think the off-lane positioning can be different for either side, or does it also
I
feel
think
pretty split?
both offlanes are pretty equal at the moment, actually. Okay, I will say this. If Radiant gets a good block in the first wave, then I think the Dire offlane is still worse than Radiant. But it's actually really hard to block Radiant now because the creeps move at like 420 move speed or something crazy. I will say though that almost every team, when given the option of if they want to choose side or first pick, pretty much everyone is choosing first pick, I've noticed.
Radiant team
So
pick.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. That's
there
interesting.
seems to be
So,
a
I guess old
consensus
habits never die.
that side pick is not so important this patch. Because I know last TI, like everyone was picking Dire. It was like if you got to choose first pick or Dire, Dire all the way. Because not only does Dire get to, not have to ban Lycan, but, the Dire advantage was really prominent last patch. So pretty
10
interesting.
seconds remaining.
And it looks
Now,
like Terrorblade actually gets through the draft this game.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
5
so
Not
here you
sure.
go, folks. One of the rare times you get to see the draft from, like, its birth and the first initial bans and
Reserve
picks.
time.
What a surprise. Death Prophet first grab because no one wanted to ban it out. But like you said, this does allow a Terrorblade to sneak through and stay free. Do not go for it. They do not take the bait. Instead, they grab up a Centaur Warrunner for their offlaner, who typically has been Demon. Though I haven't seen Demon personally play Centaur a whole lot. He's more of like a Bat Rider, which is probably the reason why Sneaky Nyx Assassins did ban that out. And then in their first matchup in Summit 2, he did play the Nature's Prophet, which... we'll see if they, end up just throwing them in that Centaur position or if they like to switch their roles up depending upon the heroes they do get. But I know Demon loves to play Shadow Shaman, however, which they do grab. And we haven't seen this hero a whole lot, as of recent. He was definitely a prime pickup, probably more so because of the huge Dire Venge, like we were briefly saying there, because having the Roche Pit just handy and Shadow Shaman with those wards and easy access just makes for a swift takedown and, of course, adds to the overall big death ball, big push strat. But Stay Free, they opt to grab a hold of Shadow Shaman's second pick, bit outside the box than we normally see, and Sneaky Nyx Assassins grab a Jakiro.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because I think teams aren't sure if Terrorblade is like so broken or not after the last changes. I think the biggest change was the 425% on illusions, which I believe is like a 40%. They take like 40% more damage now than they did last patch, which is pretty crazy. And then also, you lose movement speed on Metamorphosis, like 30 or something crazy. So, well, you lose the like bonus movement speed that you used to get from meta. So, don't know. I think teams just haven't had enough time to experiment and really know what the hero. I'm surprised it wasn't just banned. Because usually when you don't know, you just ban it because you don't want to just lose to it. And I actually saw Cloud9 play it today, and they won pretty convincingly.
You gotta have someone who can play it though, and confidently.
Yeah.
And I know.
I don't think it's actually that hard to play. I think it's way easier than Naga. A lot. Well, I only played it like 20. I played like 20 games of it.
just 20 games.
I wouldn't call that a lot, honestly. Like compared to other like heroes, I've played a lot more. But
yeah, I know. It's just funny. I mean, of course, it's just gonna have that stigma, that people get for a while, and it was adjusted, like you said, which can be quite significant. But it looks like both teams, we might just see it ignored altogether. But we do have quite a bit of draft ahead of us, so who really knows? Late game is still to pop out here, but it looks like relatively could see another push heavy aggression strat coming out. We were questioning Stay Free's game plan their last match. I was casting that one with Merlini. They kind of threw together a bit of a funky kind of a draft. The game plan was very questionable, and they always seem to stride with their individual talent and can still somehow make the games come together. But I feel like they always lack in what kind of synergy they put out there on the field as far as hero selection. So if they can kind of get the best of both worlds, they can be a real dominating force. So I don't know if this is like something that they're still trying to feel out as far as working together as a team. Because before the Summit 2, it was pretty much just scrims. They didn't have a whole lot of experience working together, though each individual has a wealth of experience competing competitively. I mean, maybe the newest face on their team is like Jiggle Billy, but for everyone else, they have a real good time under pressure. But we'll see how it works out for them. Templar Assassin here, kind of an early grab for a Templar in the mid lane. But we'll have to see. And there's also a Viper still available in the pool. So if
I'm really surprised by this Shadow Shaman pick. Especially this early. This hero has like completely fallen out of favor. Like, this hero is like not even on most teams' radar anymore. Everyone just ignores this hero. People think it's not very good anymore. You can just kill it. I mean, this hero is so vulnerable to any Blink hero. I mean, and I don't know. I think this draft by Stay Free already is just so greedy. They have this Templar Assassin mid, Shadow Shaman support. I really like the Centaur pick. I think Centaur is one of the best heroes right now.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they have a game plan in mind. It could be some sort of, something they've been working on as a unique kind of a strategy that they're looking to throw together here. Like I said, Demon loves to play Shadow Shaman. He could just opt to take it. He has really great experience on even just taking games back with just some, backdoor kind of bull rush tactics with the hero.
He plays core on this team, though.
I know he does, but you never know. You never know. I always say that, and then they end up doing something crazy.
I have seen him play like mid Shadow Shaman before, like on when he was in Korea, right?
We'll see though. We'll have to see. And then
I really like this Clockwork pickup. I think it's good against it's really good against Shadow Shaman. Like I said, this hero is so easy to kill. If Clockwork ever hooks Shadow Shaman, he's like instantly dead.
So looking for heavy initiation. That more than likely will be Mike
It's also
playing
good
the
against-
off-lane clock like he does. Mike's performance in his off-lane can always be a bit hot and cold, to put it in a nice way. You know, sometimes he can get caught out easily, and other teams, well, they kind of know that that might be their best chance to get some early aggression in. So Mike will more than likely be under some serious pressure, and it's going to be on him to not hand anything over too easily. But on the other hand, I do have to give him props. If he does find good farm to work with, he definitely can make some big plays happen, even on the Clockwork. And you know, they're still looking for that win, though. They're looking to pull it all together. I still can't help but question Templar Assassin. Her nemesis is usually the Viper. Viper is still available. If they want, they could put Death Prophet in the safe lane and end up throwing Viper in the mid, though, you know.
They have this THG, though. I think THG is really good against Templar, like outside of the lane.
Is it just because Liquid Fire goes right through, like, Refraction like Boda?
Well, he has 3 spells that remove Refraction, like, all over time. Like, Dual Breath will remove it.
Yep.
Liquid Fire will remove it. His ult will remove it. Like, if TA doesn't have a BKB and he gets caught in, like, some Yule's, you know, combo, he's just going to melt.
Yeah.
I mean, the Refraction is going to do absolutely nothing.
And they picked TA into a Jakiro, so feeling pretty confident. That's been interesting. You know, Trout, the captain here, is persistent, it looks like, on what he wants to do in this game. And he also grabs up the Rubik. Now, Rubik, I mean, he's a great benefit. Can be some early aggressive with that telekinesis, so expect him to grab that smoke and move around, add pressure on the mid laner, which looks like it will be the Death Prophet now. With this Spectre going to be grabbed up, that's going to more than likely be Ush playing that core role on the Spectre. He can definitely find the farm, and we've seen him before. He has quick reactions with using that haunt, whether it's a quick escape or a quick initiation. He can get it done promptly so it's tremendous global presence that, you know, already with the Clockwork, who has, you know, a significant initiation, global presence with the Rocket. You know, I'm liking it. The synergy I'm already seeing with Sneaky Nyx Assassins on the side of Stay Free, a bit more questionable.
I don't really like the Spectre pick, actually.
Okay.
You know, I know SNA really likes their late game. I mean, they try to pick every game to where they can take it late. I mean, because I think their strength is in the late game team fights. I don't think they're really a team that, you know, gets an early advantage and snowballs. They sometimes struggle in the early game. But, I mean, the Spectre, I don't know. Like, when Spectre haunts, the Centaur is just going to click Stampede. And then they just run away and disengage. And then they can just re-engage. And they less pick the Viper, so I think they're going to center their team around some Viper pushing. Could be really strong this game. You know, Spectre doesn't really offer a lot of counter push. Clockwork can't really do a lot if you're always grouped as 5. It'd be interesting to see what they pick as last. I'm thinking they might go with like an AA. You know, they need some team fight.
You're thinking they will?
Push.
They will go with an AA.
Yeah, I think they will.
I like AA. I mean, you know, primary mech holder being the Viper, and
they also like it a lot.
Yeah, and it would be so nice to just quickly take that down with the Ice Blast. And
plus, you'll have the double global with the Spectre. You'll have the triple global, actually. Spectre, Clockwork, AA. That's actually
all the way.
It's like a classic combo from Dota 1. I remember when that was like super popular. Like almost, I remember if you pick Spectre, you pick like Clockwork AA or Furion AA, like Clockwork. And see what I did there? Aha.
Yeah. You did it. Hold on, I'll give you one of these. There you go, buddy.
Oh, man.
All right, well, rounding it out, we'll see what they decide to do. They could decide they've also been known to try out their own funky 4 positions. If they did want to grab that Nature's Prophet, they still could and run it as a 4. We've seen EG do it significantly, but that's not going to be the case. It looks like Fluff is going to go back to one of his older, like, signature heroes possibly here with the Enchantress. Enchantress has definitely been off the radar for quite a while. Some teams still feel like she is definitely still a strong force to work with. Early game, if she does get a hold of some good RNG, get a nice early creep in, she can add some extra pressure on that mid laner, which looks like will be a Templar Assassin. I mean, Exist does grab it up.
Playing Viper.
Trough is Viper. Yeah, Jiggle's on Centaur, and that
Wait,
does leave Demon on Shadow Shaman, dude.
Shaman, what's going on?
I told you, dude.
No.
I told you. You just never know. Some of these guys, they're
roll
persistent on their ways. They're just like, I feel like they're all together, and they're like, okay, guys, we're all good. We're good at Dota, right? Hey, what do you want to grab? Oh, I'll play that. And you want to play this? Okay, I got that. You know, it's not like your old standard, like you're the support, I'm the captain, I'm picking what you do, you take your role, and you thrive. You know, these guys are all, like, almost like the old North
Five
American
feel
rejects,
like,
you
I
know?
feel like you need to win games before you start doing things like this. I mean, I'm not trying to be a flamer or anything. Oh
No, I know.
God, did everyone just
Oh
disconnect?
boy, it just gets better and better.
I'm still in the game. Should I pause? Wait, I can't pause, can I?
I'm in the game, but we might need a remake here, and I didn't
I
see
don't
the
know. I don't know
chat.
how to pause or anything. So whatever.
All right, well, we might have to just go with an old classic remake here. Let me go ahead and check out the
I know what's
old
going on.
Skype chat over here in the group and make sure everyone's good. We need to remake? Question mark? Please? Answer me, team? Because they're not disconnecting, and I doubt anyone wants to play this one out. Maybe it's just probably the safe bet we just remake.
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to remake. Remaking. Classic,
Excellent.
classic. Hold on here. I probably should, for the better, switch over to our camera here just so everyone doesn't see us try to get back into this one. So apologies on the delay, folks. We'll go ahead and leave this game. I will create a lobby. It's the same lobby. Same password as always. I'll let everyone know. New lobby up. And I'll let the other casters from all over the world, our casting friends, know. It is back up. We remade. Let's hustle in. SNA's already all in their seats, waiting for Stay Free to come together. But, you know, I guess we could talk about the draft. So, of course, Stay Free. They have quite the interesting throw together. The late game could be a bit questionable. I mean, Templar Assassin's pretty much the most significant right-click they're going to get down the road. So they're looking to make a game plan happen in the mid-game and just hope they can kind of take control from there. Whereas, obviously, Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they got that Spectre on their side. So it's going to be hard to contest the game when it gets into that 35, 40-minute point. Definitely.
Well, I think I just forgot. Stay Free. Sorry, I forgot their team name for a second, and they don't have their thing on. But I think they have an advantage in all the lanes. I don't think Enchantress and THD can really gank. It's gonna be hard for them to find kills. They're really strong at pushing towers, so I think that's gonna be their main focus. But you're going to have a TA versus a DP, and, you know, we talked about the DP nerfs. I think TA will do very well against DP. I think Viper will have an easy time against the Clockwork. I don't know if they're going to put it in a one-on-one position or if they're going to do, like, roaming supports or just pulling. But either way, Viper's going to do great in that lane. So I think they'll have an advantage in the laning phase. They could actually even aggro with the Viper. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be doing there, but I think they definitely have a clear advantage in the laning phase. That being said, this TA is going to struggle immensely when it comes time to this mid-game, you know, 5v5 tower pushing phase of the game. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they can get enough out of the lanes where they can just snowball the game, or if, you know, they're not going to get enough done during the lanes, not going to win them hard enough, and then just, you know, it's going to slowly crumble is what I foresee. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I only listened to half of that as I was trying to get the game back and underway. Because Merlene and I were also talking about this. We did have to remake a game yesterday, and that was we have to remake into Captain's Mode again because of the whole creep spawn timer thing.
They should also pick the same
Radiant
heroes for the
team
replay
battle.
for people. But,
and for Dota buff apparently as well. That's a big thing people like.
Yeah,
if
they should ban the same heroes.
If they remember, I don't know. It's a big ask to remember.
Doesn't look like they're
They
going to.
probably won't. They're gonna I mean it's already asked backwards as it is.
Whatever.
And
No, it's definitely important that they go to CM though, because
Radiant team pick.
you get an extra
Radiant team
30
ban.
seconds, I believe, compared to AP, which
Yeah.
is actually a really big deal. Like,
yeah.
you know, your warding times get mixed up, and you know, if you have a Fury on, then your Treant spawns get all messed up. So, yeah. Definitely important to rehost in CM.
Dire team back.
So
Dire team
that's what we're doing here. We're in CM. The teams are going right through it. That way all the timers match up
Apparently I'm
perfectly.
a robot or something.
What's up?
Apparently I was a robot. Or something.
Radiant
You mean in the
team
camera
ban.
shot? Oh,
I don't know. Someone's saying robot Efril in chat. I don't know if they're referring to the Skype call or
Radiant
my
team
picture or something.
you sound fine to me.
Alright.
You look
I'm sure
sharp.
it's fine then.
I
Excellent.
think we're good. So they repick underway. Hopefully this time we're not going to see some sort of
Oh,
server take a
no.
dump on its head. And it looks like that will not be the case. Everyone's now in. We're good to go. A bit of a hiccup. Couple of hiccups along the way. We've had our water. We've held our breath. And I think
Prepare
we're
for
ready to get
battle.
things underway. This is our second matchup of today of 5 best of ones. It's going to be the Sneaky Nyx Assassins taking on Team Stay Free here in the Summit 2 by G2A.com America. Both teams looking to get their first win. These are most two of the big powerhouse teams, at least what we were expecting. Neither of them had to go through the qualifier run whatsoever, and they're both currently sporting 0-2. So one team is going to be walking away 0-3, while one will finally be able to pick up their first win.
Uh-oh.
And,
I think someone's going to get picked off here. If
yeah,
you just
we
look
already
at
have
the
some
positioning.
early gang movement right
Maybe
through enemy
not.
territory.
This is good positioning by Whitebeard. I don't think he's going to get caught out, actually.
Don't jinx him,
They
though.
see him.
Hey,
Oh,
oh,
and
oh
he's
boy.
fine.
Can they
Yeah,
get
he's
the
fine.
range for the telekinesis? No, they can't. So they will pull back. So
Yeah, Rubik didn't have boots first.
30 seconds
Actually, that
to
was a
battle.
big mistake. They should have had, if they wanted to do this, they should have had Demon lead. He had boots first on Shadow Shaman. Really
Maybe he didn't
interesting
buy
that
quick
they
enough
had
or something.
Rubik first. I mean, they had vision of them, so they could have, like, you know, moved their heroes around, try to get the pick off. But anyways, go ahead and do your intros.
yes, thank you. I appreciate that. As we get underway, Radiant side, it's going to be your sneaky Nyx assassins here. It's going to be none other than
battle
Mr. IX
begins.
Mustache Mike on your off-lane Clockwork, repping the mustache set as well. Fluff is going to be playing one of his old go-tos, the Enchantress, well-decorated, fabulous as ever. Currently getting harassed a bit back from Demon so they can get access to that regen rune. On your mid-lane, it's going to be, or mid-lane rather, it's going to be TC playing your Death Prophet. Along the bottom, it's Whitebeard playing your Jakiro. And finally, that leaves Ush, Mr. Manly Man Ush, playing your Spectre.
Yep, and on the Dire for Stay Free, we have Johnny Walker playing the Core Viper in the safe lane. Demon's going to be supporting him in the top lane on the Shadow Shaman. In the mid, we have Exist playing the TA. And in bot lane, we have a dual lane of Centaur played by Jigglebilly and Crit on the Rubik.
So a role switch for this team. It could be just because of the heroes they've been handed, or it could be because it hasn't been working for them thus far, the positions that they've been playing out, with Demon being on the off lane and Jiggle had been playing kind of like a support kind of a role, but now he's playing the big bad Centaur War Runner, so they're changing things up a bit and hoping for the better in this one, as already going toe-to-toe your Death Prophet and Templar Assassin. Now, we already mentioned last game, Death Prophet, Crypt Swarm, not as big and bad as it used to be, so TC will not be benefiting from that, and Excel with that refraction should be able to hold up a little bit of extra damage. He does have no regen as he rushed right for the bottle, which is already on the way on that disgusting looking dark black courier Greevil thing. And then on the side of TC, he has one shared tango still to work with, but it will
Overlay, by the
also
way.
go for it. Oh my
I'm being
goodness,
told.
I am just... That whole thing just like completely threw me off. I'm just going to do that. I got the overlay fixed, so
Alright, nice.
let me just go ahead and tell the chat to calm the hell down real quick. Got it. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. I bet K-pop's going to come up in a moment, too, and yell at me about it. They beat me when I do something wrong like that. It's terrible. Exist, though, under pressure, though. We're not going to miss the first blood because of overlay, people. Don't worry. Exist will bottle up, but unfortunately for Fluff, he might not be as lucky as Crit does step in, gets the telekinesis, throws him back. Hadouken
Gonna
even
get a
going to
body
fly out
block?
there from the already taken creep, and Fluff will be able to walk away without being taken down.
Oh.
So the tit for
Whitebeard's
tat, but
in trouble.
oh, nice convenient rune right here, and he's trying to use that rune to get away. It's a haste. And, ooh, if it wasn't a haste or anything else, he would have been in big trouble. But now he's back in. He's healed up, and
going
now
on?
he's back out. They are juking and jiving right now in this area, and Crit might be in pressure now. Sees Ush, throws up the telekinesis, and here comes Jiggle. Hoof stomp from the north side, slows his roll, and one last liquid fire will push him all the way back.
There's an interesting exchange of skills. I don't know. I thought someone was gonna die there. At first, I thought THD was in trouble, and then Exist ran out of refraction charges, and then he was in trouble, and I had to just run away. I'm surprised no one died there. It's pretty crazy. I did want to point out though that they don't have any sentries on the Dire, and the pull is blocked top, so they're actually not getting as much out of top as they probably would have liked. I mean, this Clockwork's about the same level as the dual lane, which is pretty good for him, I think, considering the circumstances, and they're doing well in this offlane. So far, like I said, they had to do well in their lanes, and they're doing well so far.
We'll see. As Viper is your King CS master right now. Trouth,
Yep.
18-7. He'd been playing the position 4 all games previously, even picking up a Spirit Breaker in his previous game, and really has fallen short. But now he's looking to take the reins a bit on the back end of this Viper, and does have that strong start. And for Mike, 5-0, not the worst thing ever, not the best thing. Would love to have a little bit more going for himself if possible, and he should be able to do relatively okay, as long as he doesn't get too overzealous in this lane, and Demon does get a hold of him. For now, Demon just kind of doing his babysitting thing, helping with the pull camps, but the camp was blocked out. The sentry will fall right there, though, so he will have access to that camp if he wants to make a pull happen. And back in mid lane, TC is 22-9 to match up to TA's 11-2. So TC definitely has the upper hand in this mid lane thus far.
Yeah.
And
I think TA's been getting harassed a little bit by the Enchantress creeps.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what we do.
having a little bit of a tough time there. His Enchantress is level 3, stacking the jungle. I imagine they're just gonna play this bot lane pretty slow, and then I'm not sure exactly when they'll go, but at some point they're just gonna decide, you know, we're gonna bring the Enchantress creeps, probably dive the tower, maybe try to kill Rubik, and then start putting a lot of pressure on this tower with the Liquid Fire and Enchantress creeps.
And we'll see here as they're still trying to zone out Mike, but they're not going to be able to get that opportunity. TC's going to remain in control of this mid lane, making things pretty tricky for Exist, him and Fluff, putting in the overtime. These creeps, he's got 2. He's got the Centaur. He's got the Satyr. They blaze it up right now, and they're going to turn the corner.
Yeah, here comes the dive on bot lane. Yeah. They're going to try to go for this Rubik, and this tower is already taking crazy damage from the Liquid Fire.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, look at that.
Man.
It was just
So
at
good.
full life.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
Liquid
tower
Fire, though.
is
If
under
you have the
attack.
opportunity to open up on it, it's going to be good. And, oh, they're pushing on in. Immediate TP coming in, though. They're going to go right for Jiggle, but Exist moves from the mid lane to the bottom now. They want to finish what they started. A Centaur and Centaur action, but Centaur does end up falling. But Fluff is going to be the first one to fall. It's Exist who makes the rotation in and picks up that first blood. And Whitebeard, oh, this is disaster dive right now for SNA as Exist now moves on to a double. He was struggling a bit in the mid lane, but now things are going to get pretty nice for this TA as he picks up 2 sweet kills and that first blood bonus at the start of this match.
And they're going to get the deny on the tower. Wow, that was huge. A bit unfortunate for Enchantress.
Dire's
Right as he
bottom
was about to
tower
fire
has
the
been
nuke from the
denied.
Satyr, it just died.
Yeah.
And Centaur lived. So actually, I think he may have gotten first blood. I don't know. It was going to be really
Dire's
close,
middle
but
tower
either way,
is under attack.
not able to secure the first blood on Centaur. Good rotation by the TA to TPN. And they get the tower deny and 2 kills.
Very,
Good
very nice
stuff for them.
So Exist is back in his mid lane and flexing his muscles as he definitely got a lot of profit from that bottom rotation.
He's still really struggling in CS.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting a lot of pressure on him. I know they put a lot of pressure on him early. And then Death Prophet can actually exert a lot of pressure onto TA before you get like 2 or 3 points in refraction. So
They're camping this mid lane right behind the vision line. Hoping
This
to
is
get an
a
opportunity to open up on
pretty
Exist.
interesting.
And they do see Rubik rotate over. They have the obs on the other side. So they're going to notice him shifting about, being ever so sneaky. Drops his own obs warder there at the top to get that little extra
Oh
room vision.
my. I don't know why I even look over at Twitch chat. That's pretty funny though.
Oh, they want the overlay back, huh? They're just so like that. They want something gone, they're angry about it, and then when it's gone, they miss it.
Yeah, and then they're gonna transition into this mid push. DD popped on Death Prophet. You know, Liquid Fire spam on the tower, and it's gonna lose 60% of its life. You know, pretty quickly.
Just so good, Liquid Fire, man.
Yeah, and they're just
Zero
making
cost. Just put it out there.
they're just making space for the Spectre right now.
Who is
Looks-
currently farming
Yes.
away here on uncontested on this bottom.
Yep. Spectre's just getting free farm right now because they're trying to fight mid and defend the towers.
That's for top lane. As they make a go on Mike, they catch him out, and they quickly take him down with the benefit of that stampede. And here comes TC, jumps on in. Who comes in from the east side? It's going to be Fluff. And he does get his bit of redemption, helping out TC to pick up that kill on Viper.
That was a bit of miss micro. I think he could have.
Gotten both of them.
Yeah, I think he could have just stunned the Shadow Shaman. Viper wasn't TPing. Shadow Shaman TP'd out, he had netted the Viper, and then he just wanted to chain CC the Viper, but I think he would have died anyways. He could have just used the Centaur to cancel the TP.
Ooh, top, it's going to be Illusion, quickly grabbed right in front of TC's face, and now they turn their attention
Oh,
towards
Exist is
Exist.
in trouble.
Yeah, and Exist slowed down, the Liquid Fire burning on through. You see her hunching on over. Oh, it burns!
Yeah, this is
Oh,
what we
another
were
one
talking
burns!
about, the
Oh,
Liquid
the
Fire.
burning! Desperate Refraction. It's going to be quickly taken out from that Liquid
Oh,
Fire. He's at 28
yeah, he
life,
lives.
and he
But
will
look,
be able to
did
one
you see how
win.
fast the refraction
Yeah,
just melted?
it's ridiculous.
I mean, and TA is all about refraction. If you burn through this refraction that fast, this hero is not very good. I mean, until you get the BKB up, obviously, because then, you know, your refraction doesn't get
Dire's
burnt
middle
like that.
tower is under
Going to
attack.
be struggling against this team that has that kind of dot damage, especially from Whitebeard on this Takiro. So, like you already pointed out, a BKB might need to be on the agenda sooner than later. But nope, you got to get that golden glove, baby. If I have to push into the late game and
Oh,
try to contest
no.
this Spectre, I got to start my
can't
farm
agree.
right away.
Dire's
Apparently
tower
seems
is
to be
under
game
attack.
plan for Exist.
I
Radiant's
just
top
can't
tower
agree with
is
this
under
item
attack.
choice. I mean, you see how much pressure they're putting on them right now. And I think they have the better late game. I just think this is too greedy.
Dire's
And this
Another
is just,
deny, though.
has been denied.
So
Yeah, these denies are actually really important. But I just think, you know, when you pick something like TA, you have to understand. I can't think of the word now. You know, like the point in the game where you're stronger, and I think that's going to be this mid game. But I think with this Midas pickup, he's just not going to get to the point where he's stronger than them.
We'll see. That's going to be the biggest
So-
question thus far, progressing on through this matchup, as Ush continues to benefit from this bottom lane, only going really toe-to-toe with Jiggle, but Jiggle might be under pressure here. He does have Stampede, but they're going to jump on in. Mike's going to lock him right in this cage of what I like to call the baby nip cogs. The return fire from the wards, but ultimately it's a 2-for-1 because of that added burst coming in and rotation. Can they get Ush? They can. They make it a 3-for-1 right now on the return fire. Great counter initiation. They had some supports lingering in the back, plus the extra rotation over. Make it very beneficial there for Stay Free.
Yeah, really good fight for them. I also want to point out this Viper has picked up a bracer. Where's the mech? I mean, who's going to pick up the mech on Stay Free?
Oh, yeah, he's got the bracer,
It
but
doesn't
he's
look
nowhere
like
near the start
anyone's
of
building
that.
towards a mech.
Mechs are for wimps. Wimps who need to get that extra bit of heal, apparently.
I mean, it doesn't look like either team is going to be prioritizing a mech.
Yeah. We're too good for that. But for now, we'll have to
Interesting.
see if he wants to eventually progress into that. But for now, yeah, I guess just the drums
I guess he's
early.
going for the drums.
Yep.
Very
Let's see.
unconventional Viper build so far.
Not conventional as TC's Death Prophet got the phase, and just like you do, cookie cutter style, got to
Yep.
get that Yule's next. Got to get that race car mode activated, and then you can build in the extra bit of life so that when you do siege on forward, you can take the heavy, heavy damage. So for now, it looks like strong start for Nyx. They do get the worst end of these fights, but their game plan seems to be a little more solid as far as what they want to complete here. They take down 2 towers. They both get denied, which is to Stay Free's benefit.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually go to the top lane for another push.
Yeah, if you look at the golden experience, Stay Free are leading by about 1,500 gold and 2,000 experience, which I think they have to be ahead of this Radiant team if they want to have a chance to win this game. So you know they're doing a pretty decent job right now. I think it's important. I think they're just waiting for this Blink Dagger on Jigglebilly, and then they're going to start really applying a lot of pressure.
There's your Yules now in hand of TC. Look at him move. That lady can sway her hips and sure move quite quick while looking quite suave. And for Exist, he grabs up his own haste, the lady who also can move pretty fast here. And a DD bottled up right now. They're going to work a little bit with these Ancients, but it's Demon right there who wants
He has
to
a
pop out the
DD and a
smoke.
haste right now.
Oh boy.
That's scary.
They want to make use of this. They go right into the enemy jungle. They're going to see Mike, who already is at half life here. That'd be a nice quick grab for them. Well, what is this? They actually want to go for Roche.
Go for Rush.
With the
This
wards,
could be a good play,
they can do it.
actually. Yeah, they can do this.
Bit of a throwback to why we saw Xiao Shaoan picked up so
Radiant's top tower
so
is
much
under attack.
in the old Dire days when Roche was so easy to get to, but he still has the tools to take down a Roche rather quickly, and they're making it work right now. So they're going to right-click in, that DD also putting in the muscle, and they'll get it uncontested. So this is a nice start here for Stay Free. Game plan in question, but they're executing a good start right now as they grab the Aegis and put it in the pocket of Exist.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to me that SNA just sort of let off the gas pedal. Like, if you noticed, about 5 or 6 minutes ago, they were just grouping up as like 4 and letting the Spectre farm while they just pressured buildings. But in the last 5 minutes, they haven't put any pressure on Stay Free. I mean, Stay Free just got a Roche. SNA aren't really doing anything. You know, they've just been farming all the lanes. No gank attempts. So apparently it just looks like they're kind of fine with the status quo, but I think You need to put pressure on the map so that your Spectre can farm. Spectre is so scared right now. Look where his
Yeah.
positioning is. He's just sitting at this tower.
Yeah, they need to be top with everyone else.
Yeah.
Trying to go for that other tier 1 tower. I mean, maybe they're waiting for TC, I was going to say, to get his level 2 ult, but he has it now. He just got that level 11.
And they just smoke bottom lane. Looks like they want to kill the Spectre.
This will be really, really rough for him. And their Jakiro does also have level 4 liquid fire, so they need to go top. TC's heading up there right now, but they might need to get those TPs ready for bottom lane. Oh, blink forward, Jiggle pops a Stampede as well, and they're on the hunt. There's their 1 rotation, there's their 2 rotation.
Oh, no.
They can't get a hold of them, and now Jiggle might be the sacrificial lamb for this engagement, and they bump him back. Get down here, boy. You're going to make a jump on us. You're going to pay for it, son. TC's the one to pick it on up with that exorcism, expecting the whole team to come on in, but they're making a move on mid lane right there. Trying to also catch out Whitebeard, and they should be able to take him down. Fluff pops out the dust because he wants Exist in exchange. Oh, the telekinesis might save his life, but not from the haunt. And remember, he does have that Aegis. They lose Whitebeard. Fluff gets away. He's healing on up, but Exist isn't done yet. But here comes the rest of the SNA squad from the bottom lane. And they quickly Yules up Exist. So a Centaur for a Jakiro when it's all said and done. More of a benefit, obviously, for Nyx Assassins. They don't lose their Ush, which was the game plan there for Stay Free. But nice quick rotation. They save them. And also them coming up short and trying to get a hold of
Dire's
them.
bottom tower is under attack.
It always surprises me how tanky Enchantress is with Untouchable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has 800 life, and he lived through 4 heroes hitting him.
Those are the flimsy wards right there we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't know about
They're
that.
just getting right-click down now. That's free gold.
It's just, that's almost the same as a
Look
hero.
how much
though.
damage it did. Only like maybe almost a quarter. You know, back in the day, I might have brought it down to at least half life easy, but
I think the main nerf to Shadow Shaman is the glyph getting refreshed when you take tier 1s. You know,
yes.
it used to be you would push a tier 1, you know, as a group of 4 or 5 with Shadow Shaman, and then you'd move on to the tier 2 and you just drop wards because they'd already used the glyph. But now if you try to do that, they have glyph. They get 5 more seconds to respond, you know, to this push, and then they just kill the wards. I mean, that's honestly the biggest nerf to Shadow Shaman, I think, from last patch to this patch.
Yeah. Pretty much that. We were expecting that to be the big downfall of the Death Pulp push. We had come to know and love, of course, in the
Oh,
previous
and
6.81.
obviously, you know, the tower bounty system
That also
got
helps.
completely changed.
They're creeping
Radiant's
on top
bottom
lane here. They're
tower is
finally
under
going
attack.
to try to make
Looks like
something
they're
happen
gonna
here. A
catch up
pick off,
Viper.
follow up with a tier 1. This would be nice. And they see Mr. Walker. Oh, Ice Path misses, but that's not going to stop Mike from walking on in and getting a very nice cogs. That sets up for a beautiful macro pyre, and that is just execution 101. But oh, Jiggle! Get the hell over here! And he rips down Enchantress.
they're gonna get
And now
two
he wants
return
more.
kills.
2 supports if they can get it. A quick steal of the Ice Path. Can he use it? He can. How about a little bit of your own medicine there, buddy? Jakiro will fall. A 2 support takedown in exchange for
Oh, are
Trout,
they
but they're
gonna
not
get
done
Spectre
yet.
too?
They're jumping on in for Ush, and Ush is
no.
extremely low, and they get it as well. Exist with the double. Oh, things are crumbling now for Nyx.
Huge
They
mistake
lose.
by Ush. He shouldn't have stayed. I mean, he had vision of all of them. His team just died.
He was not expecting Stay Free to be so aggressive to just keep diving on through, and that was his shortcoming as he
They're
did
gonna
get
get
caught
this
out.
tower. The wards are up.
Yep, boom. Just like that dropped, and this is going to be for quick work on this tier 2. Stay Free are going to be benefiting from this one even further. They already had, obviously, the net worth lead because of the towers they've taken down, but Mike's here. He jumps in, gets quickly telekinesis up, but right back down. Pops his blade mail, but TC's looking to move on through. They got the exorcism popped. Just moves past Rubik. It's the ghost who do all the work for her. And now he's looking to turn his sights up and ahead. Ush is back from the dead, pulls out the haunt. Dagger does catch, exists, caught out with the Yules, silenced up. Can they burn off the infraction? They can. The neutral creep, I think that was, got in on the action as well, threw out the ball. But they do ultimately take down, so they fire back with their own pick-off spree, grabbing a hold of Exist on the Templar Assassin as well as the Rubik. So Nyx not going to let that go for nothing as they did not lose the tier 2 tower. It's very, very low. But they get a couple of pickoffs on the way out, and it looks like they will hope to secure this tier 1 tower.
I mean, you just see how fast this refraction gets burned. And
Dire's structures are fortified.
I don't know, this TA is going to have a struggle this game. I mean, they're ahead in gold right now, and I think they're doing okay in the current state of the game. But the later this goes, I don't see how TA is going to do damage. There's so much that burns refraction and that kills TA so fast. It's gonna be, he's gonna have a really hard time this game.
TC mid lane throws out the casual Yule's harassment here on Jiggle. That's 50 damage for
It
free.
looks like Whitebeard's gonna go down on the bot lane near the Viper. He doesn't have a TP scroll.
Oh man, he's stuck alone.
Yeah, he's
Viper's like, hello, my flying friend. Mind if we try to go toe to toe here? And he will. Gets out everything he can before he goes. Brings down Trout to half-life. Wands back up. But look at Jiggle now. Jiggle on his Centaur. Is this the early makings of the Vanguard into Crimson Guard kind of a build, it looks like? Top lane, though. They might make a go actually on Exist. Exist gets a Stampede to pull back. And a rotation in from Trout.
Spectre?
Yep, no, they won't see him. He TP's
TP out.
away. No problem.
Looks like they want this Enchantress.
Ah, I'm the King of Cups. Ah, damn it.
Ah.
Take down the little rat man. That extra move speed,
Centaur's coming for the Enchantress. He can kill him, I think.
Boom, I want some venison,
Never mind.
girl.
Never mind.
Ugh. Oh, I can't swing so fast. Damn you and your passive.
That's like the most infuriating.
It's like the slowest chop ever.
I need 3 seconds to hit you.
Damn you, girl, my four-legged nemesis. And he does get away, so Fluff.
Wait, what happened bottom? I see wards were deployed, but no one died.
Well, that might be the CJ effect, the classic Jimmy, if you will.
I miss the wards being used. Spectre's
Shao
just
Shaman's
gonna...
mid lane.
Oh, Spectre didn't go clean them up. That's surprising. But anyways, yeah, looks like we're gonna have a Vanguard on center. Probably gonna opt for the Crimson Guard build.
So
I'm
Crimson
surprised,
Guard. That's
however, that he's not getting a mechanism because no one on his team has a mech, and I think mech on center is actually pretty good.
Yeah. I've seen plenty of Centaurs opt for the mech when really
yeah.
maybe your supports can't quite afford it, or you have no one else that's your typical mech holder. He might be the one that stands up and does it, but
Neither of these supports want to buy a mech. I mean, neither of these. I mean, Rubik has to get a blink. You know, Rasta wants his, you know, either blink or force staff, and then Aghanim. So I don't think either of these supports are going to get a mech ever. So
they're going to be mechless. It's getting too
Mechless.
long. By this
I think,
point,
I
it's
think
not
both,
really worth the commitment.
Both teams are going to be mechless, actually.
Mechless gaming.
But I think that favors Radiant, because like I said, better late game. They don't
They
really
do
care.
have,
You know, if they can survive the early game without a mech, they're fine with that.
They have Nature's Attendants too, so they do have a little bit of extra heal
yeah,
from
they have
that.
some healing. Yeah.
You know, that works out well. The little Spritelings help out, tickle you, and give you a little bit of that extra HP love
Radiant's
tap.
bottom tower is
And
under
they'll
attack.
move on through here. You know, Enchantress's late game, you know, there's always something in question as far as how you decide to build it up. If you can get the luxurious Aghanim Scepter, that would certainly help out quite a bit. But Fluff is making it work for now and assisting these heavy pushes with those creeps, but might need some assistance here. He's creeping into enemy territory, but he's using that Centaur properly, scouting it out. He
Use
sees,
the
ooh,
Midas. Oh no, Exist Midas has been off cooldown for like 30 seconds.
yeah, he needs to use it. If he can use it on the Fluff creep, that would be all for the better, but he needs to use it on something.
Is he
promptly.
saving it for the creeps or something?
I don't know.
He could be. I wonder if they're going to smoke into Roche again. Roche just spawned.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, but you already see Mike scouting it out
Mike's
with the
being
rocket.
pretty. I think Mike's going to be pretty diligent about these rocket spams.
Yeah,
now
that's
that
a smart
he
thing.
sees that
Uh-oh, we
Roche
see
is
the
up.
call of fire right now. It's going to be top lane. They're making it go on Ush, and oh, they're
Yeah,
going to
he's
get him.
dead.
Shackle and Sun Chop comes out from Jigglebilly, catches him on the backside. They commit the wards for it as well, so we're not going to see a Roche in the near future because of that.
Ush has a relic.
But Ush gets it done, and yeah, Ush
He
has
has
a relic.
Yeah.
He must have just bought it out right there at the end, or
Looks
just
like
got
they're
it
gonna
before he died.
Just walk into Roche. You know, they're like, Spectre's dead. Probably doesn't have buyback because he just bought a relic. Let's just walk into Roche. I don't think there's anything they can do to stop him, actually. And in fact, oh, they are going to contest.
Here they
You know,
come.
with DP ults and THD,
Oh, jump in from Mike, catches out Crick with the cogs, and they'll quickly burst down your Rubik. And now they're going to go ahead cycling up your Johnny Walker, who the Shiva's now in the hands of TC, going to put in overtime right now, and Fluff is back from the dead,
Alright.
pulls out the Haunt, and they scurry all of Stay Free out from the Roche pit, and they're like, thank you, gentlemen, for starting this one off. We'll go ahead and take it from here as they move on with the Exorcism and the Liquid Fire, and this is going to make for quick work. And Fluff as well with the Untouchable, just makes it all the easier. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Jiggle jumps in and takes the Aegis! What a
steals the
player
Aegis.
right now! Oh! The Jiggler! Oh, he also uses the Stampede and Sidestep. He might get away scot-free! And Exist now moves in and cleans out Mike! Oh, very nice play coming out from Stay Free, and Exist will ultimately be taken down from the right clicks of Fluff with the impetus, but man, oh man, what a turnaround. Didn't see that one coming, but Jiggle is back. He eats the Ice Path for now. Negative Earn Charge and still trampling on out. Now Whitebeard on the high ground with Fluff. Crit sees him, slows their roll, and he walks away scot-free with the Aegis, and he turns back and he wants Dragon Blood, but the quick save Yules. Uh-oh, return Ice Path that was taken from Crit now. Looking to go on in. Now Jiggle might get caught out. Return Ice Path right now. Goes on him. Viper Strike from Trout. He's back now. Looking to make a fight happen. TC gets caught out with the Ice Path. Man, Ice Path's for real right now from both sides. Putting in the extra overtime.
Ice Path is so good to have on Rubik. I mean, it's
so
instant
quick.
cast.
Yeah.
Such a good skill.
Well, Fluff moves in. There's another Ice Path.
Oh,
But
it
can he
catches
get away
Mike.
from this one? Nope. Fluff takes him down with one last auto attack, but Trout is putting on Whitebeard. Whitebeard ends up going down. Now Mike locks Trout in place with the cogs, pops his blade mail, and Trout will go down. But so does Fluff. Oh, a triple
What is
kill.
going on?
Oh, this is a hot mess. A Royal Rumble in the mid lane ever since the Roche Pit engagement. What a snag there, though, from Jiggle
Alright,
Billy.
Let's talk about what happened. So I
Please.
said that they couldn't contest Roche. And why I said that is because I think had all of their members, they had a Centaur and a Shadow Shaman top. Once they committed to Roche, those two should have instantly TP'd bottom and joined them at Roshan. Because I don't think they could have... If there was a 5 versus 4, it wouldn't have been that convincing for Nyx. I think they may have still been able to win a 5 versus 4. But, I mean, they just killed all of them with, you know, because there's only 3 people. I mean, it was actually an advantage for Nyx when they were down a hero. And I don't know. If you're going to commit to Roshan like that, you have to have your whole team go, especially when the enemy team knows that you're going to do Roche. I mean, they just rocketed it. So, bit of a mistake coming out, but big plays by Jiggle Billy. And it ends up working out for them in the end. I mean, they get the Roche... I mean, I don't think they got the Roshan kill, but they get the Aegis. They get a couple kills, and... Looks like they're going to be smoke ganking, and they're going to find Ush. Big
And
kill.
they move on in. Jiggle leading the charge once more. Takes it right to Ush and takes him down. It's Demon who picks up the last hit with the Ether Shock, and he gets a killing spree for himself, but he runs right into an Ice Path. Here comes your support duo from the north right on Demon. They're going to go toe-to-toe, but meanwhile in the jungle, it's TC who pops out the Exorcism and tries to take it right to and down on the Rubik. Now, meanwhile, Exist trying to get away from this one. Jiggle as well. They're all very, very
Exorcism's
low,
doing
but...
so much damage.
Man, oh man. 2 for 2. At the end of that one, they're both supports for Ush, who had fallen at the forefront, and Mike. Much better here for Stay Free, but Trout does get caught with that Ice Path. Crips won't follow up, and he will go down. Makes for a more worthy grab right there for the sneaky Nyx assassins.
And look at that. They instantly kill the Spectre. Spectre does minimal damage because, I mean, at this point in the game, Dispersion doesn't really do much when he's not tanky. And they just fight 4 versus 5.
Oh,
they don't even
TC
care.
denied. Takes the Yules up on Exist, grabs it for himself, but now they're going to go toe-to-toe, but he gets the help of Ush, who haunts quickly in. Oh, the miss of the dagger, though, not going to catch right there. As Exist moves on up, he's not going to pursue TC. Pops his BKB, trying to slow them down with the trap. Here comes Crit, though, pops in with the blink. Telekinesis up, right and back, but the Ice Path will be there, and Rubik quickly gets taken down like it was nothing. And for the rest of the Nyx assassins, they might need to consider doubling back, and they will. Grabbing the one support, and even Trout commits a buyback to try to get a part of that.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, they're having trouble with 4v5s. Once this Spectre gets tanky, I don't know. This TA is having such a hard time. I know I've said it like 10 times by now, but I mean, this hero just doesn't seem good. I question actually just this hero in this metagame, actually. You know, you can't really snowball a game as hard as you could last patch, which I think is what made TA sort of okay last patch. You also had a bunch of, like, even Urn burns refraction charges now. Like, through BKB. That's
Dragon
like
Fist
insane.
Dota will have a word with you, though. He's a man
I mean,
who
whatever,
loves his
that's
TA,
pubs.
but in pub play, yeah, obviously. But here, and it's going to be a quick questionable, and against a certain lineup where you already got a Jakiro on your team, and you're picking into it.
Stampede use.
It's
a big cooldown. I think they can just go push mid now. No Stampede.
We'll see if they decide to bite onto that now and move on in. TC's got 4 more seconds, and his Exorcism's going to be ready to go, and he is damn near close to getting a hold of his BKB, just about 350 gold shy of that. Ush, who's had his Radiance for a while, is still trying to bring the gold together for his next item, unless it's sitting on a Courier in his stash, which it doesn't seem to be the case. So he's still trying to get a bit more item progression, and we were already talking about the security of the late game for sneaky Nyx assassins with the Spectre on hand. So they're probably not too deterred by this because it was pressure on Stay Free to try to make games really happen, really at this point on. And they are making big plays, but is it enough to significantly take it? We'll see. Mike jumps on in, gets a hold of Crit. Rubik Does quickly get himself forced out, but ultimately will go down regardless. TC sweeps on through. Jiggle forced to pop out his own blade mail, but not that or the Vanguard buildup is going to be enough to save the Beefcake. And now Ice Path on Trout. Trout very low. Long shot coming out, and he ends up falling. TC with the killing spree. They'll turn on back and put their sights on this Tier 2 tower. Huge fight right there for the sneaky Nyx assassins to take down 3 and make it look like it didn't take a whole lot of effort. And that all started with Mike. The bold jumping gets a hold of Rubik, and it just crumbles from there.
Yep. So what can Stay Free do at this point? I think for them to win, they need to find some pickoffs with the Shadow Shaman and the TA, maybe. TA needs to get a couple more items, maybe a crit. I don't know, it's just so hard at this point.
Mike's got a nice position over here on the left side, waiting for
No
the up to jump in,
exorcism
but he
right
does whiff the hook right there. But Demon desperately tries to get out, but he quickly gets annihilated. Same goes for Crit. Ush is on a double kill, and they won't exist. If they take him down, this is going to be bad for Stay Free. They lock him in place with the Ice Path. They got the dust and everything ready to go. Jiggle at the last effort trying to save, but now he might fall, getting thrown right up. It's Yules Gaming, folks. He gets quickly taken down. A triple kill for Ush, and for Stay Free,
I think that's the game.
this might be game as they look to just move themselves right on into the high ground. They
mean,
don't
they
have
had-
Exorcism, but it's not needed, as with plenty of liquid fire charges ready to go, they will quickly wither down this Tier 3 and some early damage on this set of racks.
I mean, they had no exorcism, and they still won that fight so convincingly. I mean, it wasn't a full 5 versus 5, but
They're going to play it safe, though. They're not going to commit for any more than just the Tier 3, seeing that a lot of the team are respawning up, including Trout's Viper. But for now, they just take their first bit of base damage. And, well, for the rest of Nyx, they pull back, play it extra safe. Ush, it's been a while since he got anything after the Radiance, but on the back end of that triple kill, he already has the Vipe Booster reliable and 2,100 gold, so he'll just look, I would imagine, to push forward into getting a hold of the heart. Wants to tank up a lot more and survive any sort of heavy burst that maybe TA would try to contest with, but if he is able to withstand all that, then that makes the game a lot more secure for them. TC obviously completes out his BKB. He is extremely far, highest net worth in the game by over 3K on this Death Prophet.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure that just spells the end for Stay Free unless some sort of mistakes are being made by Nyx assassins at this point. Which, I mean, could happen. I've seen
We've seen
some
it.
throws of my times.
We have seen it.
I just think it's so hard to throw with these kind of heroes. The only foreseeable way I can see them losing a fight is if this Death Prophet just gets picked alone by himself and just instantly dies with no buyback or something.
Yeah, even then,
I mean, even then, we've seen them fight 4 versus 5. They just
Yeah.
have such better team fight heroes.
and they have lots of lockdown.
Lots
We
of
see
damage.
the Ice Pass going into
Yeah.
overtime from Whitebeard. And Fluff has always
Viper-
been in the fray.
This Viper pick just isn't paying off. You know, they put it in the safe lane. He farmed, you know, Trids, Drums, Aquila, and then he sort of just walked around, tried to hit buildings. But they never really, they didn't get any map control. They didn't use the Viper as sort of that, you know, that anchor to, you know, use to push.
Uh-oh. Haunt comes out. They spot out Jiggle. He quickly TPs. And he will
Johnny's
get
gonna
out
die.
before they have the vision.
Johnny
But that
Walker's
was from
dead.
bottom lane, which
Yeah.
that was Trout getting quickly taken apart. Oof. Rough right now for Stay Free. Team that has yet to pick up their first win. Currently 0-2, but same can be said for the sneaky Nyx assassins. But they are well on the road to grabbing a hold of their first victory and hopefully the start of some tremendous momentum to put themselves back on the top of the Summit 2 as they move on to this Tier 2 tower, the last outer tower to stand for Stay Free. And then it's going to be all pressure on the high ground. But here comes a bit of an audible play here. Stay Free want to try to go from behind and get a hold of this Roche quickly with Demons, Wards, and Assistants and Exist laying out the right clicks. But Mike already scouted out with the Rockets. They know this is happening. Ush doesn't have Haunt, but they are looking to contest. And Jigglebilly's trying to be the bouncer for this pit, but it's Mike who jumps on in and tries to block him in. It is going to be them to be able to pick up the Roche kill. Aegis is grabbed. Demon says, see you later, as he force taps up to the high ground to get away from this one, but Exist is not going to be so lucky,
He's
and now
just
he's
dead
stuck.
twice.
He's stuck in a death pit now versus TC with these Exorcism
Oh, he's
ghosts.
gonna BKB TP. Alright, so it's
BKB
fine.
out. But that Aegis is quickly used.
Dire's top tower is under
Oh,
attack.
meanwhile, Demon, who did make a getaway, didn't get too far, it looks
A
like.
Sange on Enchantress. I'm guessing he's going Heaven's Halberd.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure. Probably, most likely.
Oh boy, oh boy. So things just don't seem to get much better. It was a valiant effort to try to take the Roche from behind right there, but Nyx Assassins were well and aware. They have really aggressive wards here. They can see all the movement from inside the base to coming out to
And
the front.
I don't even think an Aegis does much for them. Like I said, I think the only way they would have won is if they picked off this Death Prophet at some point.
Jump in. They want to go for Rubik. Rubik's dead just like that. TC gets Yulesed up. Jigglebilly in the fray trying to do something with his blade mail. Jelf's going to fall, and I imagine this is going to be the towel to be thrown in here from Stay Free. There's your last hurrah buybacks coming out to see if they can get some sort of sway in this fight to prevent them from making a move on these racks, but I think by this point it is just all too promising for them. As Ush does eat the Viper Strike, 2 TP rotations in. Mike tries to slow them down. Jiggle TP's right, or blinks rather, right into an Ice Path with a Yule's follow-up. Really slows them down. And they might turn and fight from the high ground right here, and they will. They pop out the Shivas, Exist, moves on in with his BKB pop. Mike gets quickly hexed up, and he's going to be focus fired from Trout, but Ice Path trying to zone him on back from Whitebeard. He gets his own cogs off, and now he's going head-to-head with Jigglebilly inside those cogs, but Fluff is laying out the right clicks from the outside, and meanwhile on the left side you can see they're making it go on Exist. Jiggle does end up falling. Exist as well. Quickly taken apart from the other 3. Ush moves from the low ground, or the high ground to the low ground with the help of that dagger, and they move on over. They want to get Demon. They got him.
Yeah.
They only
And they
lose
should be
Mike.
going-
But this is going to be it. Crit. Flamed about. Troush is going to be the lone survivor here in a moment if they can get a hold of him. He does take the dual breath, quickly uses it, but he ultimately will fall. Ush is very, very wounded here. Ooh, he's ticked down to about 30 life, but they end up taking down the last standing Stay Free member, and there's your good game call from Trouf, and the other casual pause is going to be popped out right at the end, but that is it, folks. It looks like it's going to be sneaky Nyx Assassins who do manage to pull off their first victory here in the Summit 2, and Stay Free still struggling a bit, looking to shake this one off and try to bounce back from what now will be their 0-3 record.
Yep. I'd call this game a bit of an outdraft. I just don't see the synergy behind TA and Viper on the same team. They don't really want to do the same things. You know, Viper is more of this hero. You group up as 5, he's like your anchor, he tanks, he can do a lot of damage early game. And then you have TA, this hero that wants to farm a lot, find pickoffs, you know, can carry really hard in the late game if given, you know, the time and space and farm. But then they have this other core that just isn't good in the late game. So they just couldn't take it late. And then, you know, TA wasn't able to do anything early game because they have, you know, all this AoE dot damage and, yeah.
Well, really, really good performance there. The Sneaky Nyx Assassins put together a draft that was a little more traditional. Stay Free, they're still questioning how they want to put out the roles for their players, what kind of draft they want to throw together, and continue to just kind of work through their feel-out period here, because this is their first real test since they've just been doing scrims before this, and hopefully they can get it pulled together. But for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, it's been a, you know, it's a bit of a struggle, you know, since ESL, but they finally do get a victory under their belts. Hopefully they can use this as momentum to push on forward, and we'll find out. That was only our second game of the day. I'll go ahead and throw up the schedule right above my head. Boop. You can see it right there. It looks like next up it is going to be Not Today, taking on Team Gerg. This will be Gerg's first game in the Summit 2, and I know a certain Gerg is in the audience. He is anxious as ever to watch his team perform, so let's see how they do, folks. We're going to go ahead and throw to a small break, and we'll be back in just a moment. If you like what you heard, you can catch me over on Twitter at CoddleGuy, and this guy right here, all sharp and dressed as ever, you can catch him over on his Twitter. Show his support, as he's a new co-caster here, and he's definitely putting in some solid work. He's over at F4L Dota. Thank you so much. We'll be back in a hot second.